Have you ever had a moment when you thought to yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, or I meant to do it, but I didn't? We all have those moments, right? Where we think about doing something, but somehow it just doesn't happen. You might even tell yourself, I have good intentions, I really do, but still, nothing changes. Well, guess what? The world doesn't really care about your intentions. It cares about what you actually do. Sounds a bit harsh, doesn't it? But it's true. Today, let's talk about why action is the thing that gets rewarded, not just intention. I'll explain it in a way that makes sense, so by the end of this, you'll realize just how important it is to turn those good intentions into real actions. Segment 1. The difference between intention and action. Okay, let's start with something simple. Imagine you want to build a treehouse. You think to yourself, that would be so cool, I'm going to build one. You've got all these ideas in your head, right? You know exactly what you want it to look like. You even tell your friends, I'm going to build a treehouse. Now that's the intention. You thought about it, you meant to do it, and you told people about it. But here's the thing, unless you actually do something about it, like gathering materials, climbing the tree, and putting it together, it's never going to happen. Intention is like planting a seed, but unless you water it, give it sunlight, and take care of it, it's not going to grow into a tree. Action is what makes that seed turn into a tree. So let's say you gather the wood, get some nails, and start working on it. Now you're taking action. You're doing something about it, and guess what? That's when things start to change. The world rewards action, not just your good thoughts or plans. Think about it. If you tell people about your treehouse but never lift a finger to actually build it, what happens? Absolutely nothing. But if you start taking action, things start happening. The treehouse begins to take shape, and before you know it, you've got something amazing to show for it. Segment 2. Why action is more powerful than intention. Let's dig a little deeper. And why is action so much more powerful than intention? Well, intention is like a dream. You know how sometimes you dream of being a superhero or hitting the jackpot? It's fun to dream, but dreaming won't create those outcomes. You can spend all day dreaming about your treehouse, but it won't be built until you pick up the hammer and start hammering stuff together. But action makes it real. It creates change. Think about a goal you have. Perhaps it is something big, becoming a great athlete or the best student in your class. Yes, you can aspire to the best, but if you don't wake up every morning and do the work, it's just a dream. It's like Michael Jordan didn't just say, I'm going to be the best player ever. He practiced each and every day. He missed, he erred, but on he marched. It was his deed that made him the greatest. Another example, Thomas Edison. Have you ever heard of him? He invented the light bulb, but do you know how he did it? He didn't just sit around thinking, it'd be cool if we had light bulbs. Nope. He tried hundreds, actually thousands of different ways to make it work. He didn't stop until he found a way. His intention was good, but his actions made the light bulb a reality. The world doesn't reward you for what you intend to do. It rewards you for what you actually do. And that's why action is so powerful. It's the only thing that leads to results. Without it, you're just stuck in a loop of thinking and wishing without making any real progress. Segment 3. Overcoming the fear of taking action. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but taking action is scary. And you're right, it can be really scary. You might think, what if I mess up? What if it doesn't work out? What if people laugh at me? These are all normal fears. But here's the thing, not taking action is already a form of failure. It's like deciding not to even try, just because you're scared of failing. The truth is, every person who's made something happen in life has failed a bunch of times. And that's okay. The key is to keep trying. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to try. Look, if you're scared to start that treehouse because you think you might mess up, just remember this. At least you're trying, and trying is way better than doing nothing at all. Remember, action is progress. Even small steps forward are still steps in the right direction. If you take just one little step towards your goal, you're already ahead of where you were yesterday. So if you want to build your treehouse, start with one nail, one piece of wood. Don't wait for the perfect moment because it might never come. Just start. Segment 4. The power of small actions. Here's the good news. Action doesn't always have to be huge. In fact, small actions are often the best way to start. If you want to write a book, you don't need to write the whole thing in one day. Start with one page. If you want to get better at sports, don't think you need to become a pro overnight. Start with 10 minutes of practice every day. It's like building a house. You don't just jump to the roof first, you lay one brick at a time. And before you know it, the house is built. The same goes for your dreams. Little by little, action by action, you'll get closer and closer to your goal. And here's the thing about taking small actions. They give you confidence. Once you start doing something, you'll feel more motivated to keep going. It's like the first step on a long journey. At first, you might not know exactly where you're going, but once you take that first step, the road ahead starts to appear, and you'll feel more ready to keep walking. Segment 5. How action creates momentum. Now, I want to tell you something about something called momentum. It's when things begin to happen without you, and that's because you've been doing it. When you continue to take action on your goals, even if it's small actions, it starts to stack up, and you'll notice that it starts to propel you forward because you're moving faster toward what you want. Think about riding a bike. It's difficult to make causes in the beginning, but once you start pedaling, it's easier, right? That's momentum, and it starts to flow the more you act. It's like trying to push a ball uphill. It feels heavy at first, but once you get the momentum going, it gets easier and easier. So the trick is to continue, to go on, continue to make even the tiniest effort and watch the snowball get bigger. The more we act, the more forward momentum we have, and before long we look back and wow, we've come a far way. Okay, here's the final takeaway. The world rewards action, not intention. You can have all the good intentions in the world, but unless you do something, nothing will change. Action is what makes your dreams come true one step at a time. So, what do you want to achieve? Is it building a treehouse, writing a book, becoming a basketball player or scientist? Whatever it is, don't just sit around thinking about it. Start today. Take that first step and keep moving forward, because action is what turns dreams into reality. Now, I'd like to know, what's one thing you've been thinking of doing and haven't done yet? Drop a comment below to tell me. Let's motivate one another to take action and let those dreams happen. And don't forget, if this video has been helpful, to like and subscribe. Keep making progress step by step.